said that if you could imagine something, no matter how bizarre, it's probably happened somewhere in real life right here in South Florida. Well, Spencer Myers is one of a new group of authors, Carl Hyacin comes to mind, who use these weird real-life events to craft exciting and equally weird novels. Well, welcome to South Florida today, and your new book is Pest, and it leads us to pesticides. I thought, when I saw the title, I was like, wow, that's different.
Well, pest means a lot of things. It could be the guy next door who's been bothering you, his dog, or it could be indeed some little bug that's in your food. And pesticide, of course, the word pesticide and homicide end with the same letters,
that
you know?
side.
Yeah, and they're both meant to kill things.
Okay. Tell me, what inspired you to write this book? And I love the way you weave so much of Florida into it.
I wrote the book to do three things. I wrote it to inform people, I wrote it to entertain people, and I wrote it to empower people. Literally to stop the slow poisoning of our environment that it's occurring by the food processors, the growers, and the chemical companies. And they're just out to protect their own self-interest, but in doing so, they've changed the laws, and they've kept laws from being enforced that could protect us in such a fashion that just in the last 30 to 45 days, Publix pulled off the shelves of over 500 of their stores a type of tomato that a grower was found to be in violation of 88 different of the codes in Florida and 369 violations in North Carolina. In the process of this investigation, they found that 3 children from the growers' families were born with birth defects.
Oh my goodness.
This is precisely the kind of thing I'm talking about in Pest. However, as you know, I didn't decide to lecture people on a bunch of chemicals whose names we have a difficult time to pronounce. I created a cast of characters that my publicist calls fantastically troubled.
Well, you know what? I like Derk a lot, though. You know, he's kind of like a man's man.
Yes.
Yeah, you know?
Yes, indeed. Well, and even Derk is troubled. Even the good guys have serious issues.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? Who doesn't have issues these days? So.
It is our neuroses that drive us, in my opinion.
Okay. What are people going to get out of the book when they open the pages?
Well, I think they're going to laugh at times. Mm-hmm. Even the bad guys will endear you to them at times. They will endear you to them. Hopefully people will be informed, and hopefully they'll get upset and they'll want to do something at a personal level. Next time they go to the store, they may not pass the organic section. Next time they go to buy a car, they may say, it's got to get 30 miles to the gallon. It's got to stop polluting this environment. We have to stop pouring the chemicals and the toxins into the environment at the rate we're doing, because they can only end up in 3 places: the air, the water, or the soil, and we all have to breathe or eat or drink those things.
Tell me this about the way you weave so much of South Florida, Southwest Florida, Central Florida into the book. I found that wonderful as a person who's lived in a couple of different places.
In reading myself, I always enjoy being able to identify with a place. Yeah, I've been there. I know that street. I've driven down that road. I've been in that particular environment. And if you can do that, it personalizes it. And this is a story about a serious issue. Mm-hmm. And yet it's told in a very entertaining way. So if you can bring people to those particular places, or those places to people, I think they'll identify with it more.
When you first open the pages, you're drawn in, and you're on this like exciting thrill ride that just keeps going up and down and up and down.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's kind of how it turned out. And you really don't know what's going to happen until the very end, although you know who the culprits are and you know what they've done.
Right.
You just don't know what's going to happen to them. I guess that's my style. Every writer has to have a style. That's my style. If I were to describe my style, I would say it's somewhere between, you mentioned Carl Hyacin, between Carl Hyacin and Rachel Carson.
Okay.
Well, that's a pretty wide girth, you know,
wide.
in which to work, you know.
I love the getaway with the bad guys on the bicycles. I'm like, how are you going to get far on that, you know? Okay. Whatever works. Spencer, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
May I add that
Yes,
I will be appearing tomorrow night at Books and Books in Coral Gables.
Oh, great.
For a book signing at 7 o'clock. Books and Books in Coral Gables on Aragon Street.
All right. And you can meet Spencer, as he just told you, in person about Pest, and that's tomorrow night, correct?
Correct.
At Books and Books in Coral Gables. Everyone knows where that is. Again, it's on Aragon Avenue, and he'll be there beginning at 7 o'clock and will sign your copies. He's an interesting guy, as you can tell.